2025, happy to be alive. Let's talk taxes again. Tell a friend, tell a friend. We got the one and only world-renowned tax boss, one of the world's greatest CPAs in the building from Empress Tax Service, Tax Lady Bria.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for having me back. You're number 2 or you're number 3. I think it might be 2 by myself, but maybe 3.
2 on this, plus on the other. You know? Yeah. So we're just
like
gonna say,
that.
yeah, 2.
Well, thank you for having me back. I'm super, super excited. Thank you.
It's
thank
a pleasure
you.
to have you here. Happy New Year's, the same
Happy
way,
New
because
Year's. Happy New Year's to our followers and our listeners. Happy New Year's to you guys as well.
Definitely, we made it to another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
made it to another year.
yes, it's definitely a blessing. And I know you got a lot of blessings to share with us this year, right?
Yes, I'm super excited. It's our favorite time of the year, you guys. As everybody know, it is 24-25 tax season. And for people that want to know why it's 24-25 tax season, it's because tax year is always a year prior. So we always do our full year of 2024 and we report our earnings in 2025.
That's right, y'all. That's right, y'all. So for anybody that is following Tax Lady Bria on Instagram, you know it's been a lot of motion going on. It's a lot of things going on, a lot of updates. So we're just going to get into it like this. Let everyone know exactly why you are so highly accredited in the line of work that you are in. We got a few things to discuss. So, Lifetime President Achievement Award, Best of Florida, Honorable Mention, things like that, TGA Thelma Gibson. So let's get your take on all of these achievements and how you feel about that within yourself.
Oh my goodness.
Let's start with the Lifetime Presidential. What's that all about? Let us know what that's about for those who may not know.
All right, so for those who may not know, the Lifetime Presidential Achievement Award is the highest level of achievement that you can receive as a business owner. Okay, this is coming directly from the White House, so I was super honored to be recognized not only by South Florida, but by the White House with President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, by just my work, my volunteer hours, the things I do to give back to the community, my financial literacy, my classes, my volunteer time. So I'm super, super excited about that. That was a major achievement. I did not know I was being honored for that. So shout out to Lou Foundation, who I actually do financial literacy classes for in Miami-Dade County. So I go in and I volunteer to teach taxes, understand exactly how to file a proper S Corp, C Corp, partnerships, your W-2s, tax write-offs, business credits, and just me putting in that time allowed them to say, hey, you know what? This lady deserves this award. And it's not just last year. I've been doing this for about 6 years, teaching tax classes to youth, to individuals, adults, making them understand a little bit more about how it actually works. I think a lot of misunderstanding with taxes. So I'm super, super grateful to have been chosen for that. So
definitely,
that was amazing.
Definitely got to clap it up for that. Definitely got to clap it up for the Lifetime Presidential Achievement.
Yes.
Because I don't think everybody's getting those in whatever lane they in. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Definitely, that's definitely a blessing.
Yeah, that was a big moment last year, so I was super excited about that.
So does that go hand in hand with the honorable mention, or is that something, the honorable mention, something separate?
No, so that was something different. So Best of Florida, less than 10% of Florida businesses actually get this. This is a very prestigious award in the state of Florida. So it's not just for South Florida. This is my company being recognized for the entire state of Florida. So you get recommended by either a client or a colleague or someone recommends your company. When I got the email letting me know that I was actually recommended, I was shocked. And we came in at Florida Honorable Mention, which is 3rd place, which I am still grateful. Like, that is amazing. And again, we're going to try to get that again this year, and hopefully we get 1st place. But That was amazing. That was a recommendation from, again, clientele and colleagues, people who think highly of Empress Tax Service. So I was super grateful for that. That was our first major award last year, next to the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award.
That's dope. So the presidential is a more national base, and
Yes.
Florida is just for Florida.
Just for Florida. So
Okay.
the 2024 Best of Florida honorable mention, that was for the entire state. So again, for accounting and finance, that go to show you where my colleagues and my clients think of my company. Again, you have to vote for this. So it's not that I went in there and voted myself. I actually had people who voted for my office. So I was super, super excited about that. And that was for the entire state of Florida. The Lifetime Presidential Achievement Award was for the entire nation. So that was dope.
Definitely. That's definitely honorable. You definitely got to mention that honorably, straight up. Because there's a lot of tax offices around here where, boy, you might be nervous to even let these people know your first and last name. You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? So that means you definitely know what you're doing.
Yes, I'm super excited. That was 2 prestigious awards. So grateful, very grateful.
Well, let's touch on the TGA Thelma Gibson Honorary Award.
Yeah, shout out to WCC Women Chambers of Commerce of Miami. So, the Thelma Gibson Award is an honorary award for South Florida businesses. So, this is for strictly women. Okay, and I was very, very honored to have been one of those selected to say, hey, we see what you're doing. We want to honor you for that. And yeah, so that's what that was. So Thelma Gibson is a legacy. Actually, she started the Women Chambers of Commerce, to celebrate other entrepreneur women and, success and to build a sisterhood. So to be able to have that recognition for South Florida, then the honorable mention for the state of Florida, and then for the Lifetime Presidential Achievement Award for the nation. 2024 was one heck of a year for Empress Tax Service, and it didn't come easy. A lot of people might say, oh, you got these, accolades and everything now. Yes, but it came with work, losses, learning, even within myself, becoming a better leader, becoming a better entrepreneur, running my business. It came. So I put in almost 6 years this year of work before I got these. So it didn't come overnight, but it came from consistency and being persistent.
Definitely. Shout out to our sisters creating that union and that circle of empowerment, because we definitely need to emulate that for the brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's wild out here.
It's some chambers out here. It's some things for for men. We just have to get yourself out there. But it's definitely things that you can get. It's some guys as well that was honored at the Lifetime Presidential Achievement Award that I was at as well. So it's out here, men. That our business owners definitely get out here. They are here. Just got to get out here and be more into the community.
So we know that you are an official CPA,
Yes.
certified tax boss.
Yes.
But that's just not it. That's not where the line stops. That's not where the draw. We're not. It's more to it. It's more to Bria Harris than that, right?
Yeah. Let's see. So got my CPA, so certified public accountant. I'm also an EA enrolled agent, and I'm also a CAA. I am a certified accepting agency. So for anyone who is needing an I-10 number, and an I-10 number is only a tax ID number, okay? Tax ID number to hold you over until you get your social security number. If you're just coming from maybe, overseas or filing your immigration documents, or, maybe you just need an I-10. You don't want to use your social to be able to do business. Those is what that's for. So you can come to me and I'll help you issue that. Again, you can't use it for work purposes. This will strictly be just for taxes, opening a business account, personal accounts, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, we just got a little bit of multitude of everything: bookkeeping, account management. I help business startups. So if you're not sure how to actually start your business up, I can do that. If you're not sure how to start your nonprofit, I'm the person to go to as well. Financial planning. We do have a couple people on our team that does credit repair. So yeah, we do a little bit of everything.
I mean, shout out to you, but I'm talking about like coming out of the office space and out of the emails and faxes and texts like that, because we see that you've been actively engaged and enrolling in the community and a lot of give backs and empowerment. So, like, what's that all about?
Yeah, so I always feel like no matter where you at in business, never forget where you come from.
True.
So I came from an upbringing that was decent, but I always wanted more for my children. So I think that that drive is what got me here today. But I never forgot where I came from. So because of that, I'm always really big on back to school. Think not this year, but the year before that, I chose two families and gave out 1,000 cash per
Wow.
family
That's dope.
for Christmas, so they can use for utilities, rent, whatever they wanted to use. Because not everybody want to do toys. We do back to school drives every year. I partner with two major back to school drives last year in 2024. One partnered with Nike with Young Dreams. Shout out to Young Dreams. Nonprofit. Appreciate you for having me on that one. I wasn't able to be there physically, but I was able to donate and sponsorship for that. So that was great. So it's all about still, no matter what level you get to, give back to the community. I mean, whether it's gyms that you know, whether it's just a couple of dollars or it's your time, it helps. So
Definitely.
yeah.
I see you tapping in with the younger generation too.
Yes.
Boys and Girls Club vibe.
Yeah, so that's our first official announcement of 2025 that just was fresh off the press on Monday, reposted by the Boys and Girls Club of Broward County. We are officially partnered with them for the Money Matters Financial Literacy course. And on that Money Matters Financial Literacy course, we are teaching teens, and the class is also available to the teenagers of the center parents. And I am going in and teaching them exactly how taxes work, how to actually budget, how to actually, build credit, and just learn a little bit more about why financial literacy is important from a younger age. I think sometimes we don't get that knowledge, and then by the time we hit 18, we're just doing a lot of crazy things, applying credit cards, spending crazy money, not saving. So I'm super, super excited to be able to go in and teach these teens from now to say, hey, if you get $50, you don't have to spend the whole 50. You can do this, you can do that. Just speaking to them about, IRAs and, just getting into it at a younger age. So
Is
I'm
that
super
all
excited about that.
across Broward, or is that only
That's
specific locations?
all
Or
across Broward. Hey, we
Wow.
are locked in Empress Tax Service, all 15 locations in Broward County. We will be teaching financial literacy with their Money Matters program with one fall and one spring course. And so I'm super excited about that.
That's definitely big motion. Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Yes. I'm super excited about that. I think that is amazing opportunity. I think to be able to work with the younger generation is dope. I also already am a volunteer for Broward and Dade County schools where I actually go in and teach financial literacy. Shout out to Coconut Creek High School, my cheerleaders and my dancers who actually took my financial literacy course just a few months ago. So I'm super, super excited about that. So yeah, we team up and do a lot with the youth. The youth are our vision for the next day. So we can start now and start teaching them some things that we lack in our community. Now, I think they'll have a better understanding. So I'm super excited about that. And I'll be launching my own mentorship program this year as well. So
Yeah, clap it up, man. Clap it up. Clap it up, definitely. But how do you feel looking at the progress that Empress Tax Service has made to where now you have become a source of leadership or even knowledge-based source for the younger generation? 'Cause I know you got your own kids. I got my son too. As a matter of fact, shout out to you because you made it real. Like personally, my own son took your tax class, and now he's like on his tax wave. Tax customers reoccurring from last year. They're pulling up again this year. They want to get the same thing done. So you know what's going on because you're definitely letting them know the right way. But how do you personally feel about that?
Shout out to Khalil. I am so proud of him. To be honest with you, I'm very humbled and shocked. It's funny to
Shocked?
say that I'm humble and shocked because sometimes you don't see yourself in a certain light and you're like, man, I never would have thought 10 years from now this would have been me sitting here.
True.
So it's shocking just to see how far I came.
So when you started to say the tax office, you never had the thought of being instructor, so to speak?
No, when I first started the financial games and the tax game, I didn't really think about teaching and different things. I'm like, no, that can, it wasn't until like about a year after I got into it, and I'm like, you know what, Bria, you need to teach other individuals, because what what you have learned and what you're learning, other people can actually learn the right way. So that's when a light bulb went off in my head and said, Bria, this is your passion. This is what God has called you here to do. So do what your calling is supposed to do. So yeah, at first I didn't see myself here, and now I'm sitting back looking and just like, man, I'm really making a legacy, not just for my children, but for my name. So other individuals say, hey, I went to Empress Tax Service, or I took Empress Tax Service class, and I've learned a lot. I gained a lot of knowledge from her. She's able to walk me through things that I didn't know, or make me understand something as simple as how to read the 1040 tax form. A lot of people do taxes every year. They don't even know what lines, 11, 12, what box 1 means, what box 2 means. So it's nice to be able to give back and just know that I'm giving a portion of, what I've known and what I have learned to the younger generation and adults.
Definitely. So you would more be bringing them into your, let's say, your empire, or you will also be guiding them to, like, let's say, forefront their own tax office?
No, you don't have to. So with my classes, and even on my website, especially this year, I do have preparers who want to come under me, and then I have preparers who want to start their own tax office. So this year I want to get more people to start their own tax offices, but actually learn the correct way. You see every year a lot of tax preparers just pop up out the blue, but they're not learning the correct way. They're going to people who's teaching them the incorrect way.
I'm pretty sure we all we had our own experiences with that, y'all. Oh man.
They're not educating them on the tax laws that's changed daily every year. And because of that, a lot of people get audited. A lot of people come to me, I need it amended because I went to this person because this person did this. And like, wait a minute, how did you do this? And this doesn't even apply to you.
Right.
So, so for me, it's just more, I want to be more proactive in getting people to start the tax office and doing their books the correct way. So yes, we teach classes every year starting in June, but if you don't have any experience, it's totally fine. If you're not for sure how to open up your tax office, that's totally fine. Empress Tax Service will actually walk you through the registration process, how to actually register your business with whatever state that you're in. Make sure you get your correct EIN number. Make sure you have your small business account open. We will also make sure you walk through the whole IRS registration the correct way, and make sure you have your EFIN or your PTIN number, so that way you actually get it started the correct way. We will also teach you the updates. And even if you come through me to start your own office, I will always be a mentor for you. So you're not left alone. So it's not, hey, you come and do your class with me and then that's it. No, I'm going to walk with you hand in hand every step of the way. And even after you start that office and you're not for sure, you may have a question, I am still here from you. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to get it just like this. You might take the class and you still may have some questions. So that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, you help them over the road bumps.
Once you
not going to leave them out there to drown.
I'm not going to leave you hanging and dry. So I'm super excited about that. And we're going to be doing more of that this year. And the links are already up actually on my website to start registering. So I'm super excited to start dropping that information as well.
So what do we have to consider with the changes? Like you said, it's a lot of changes that happen on a daily, monthly, year-to-year basis as far as updates on the taxes. Like, what do we have to be aware of or consider for the 2024-25 tax season?
So it's a few questions that I get on a regular basis. So I kind of want to bring those up and I want to talk about those things now. And most of them will be like with credits. It'll be, hey, what's the child tax credit? What's the EIC credit? What's the new AGI limits? And a lot of people don't understand those things. So that's where I'm here for. And I kind of want to go over those with you guys for the new updates so people can kind of understand exactly how it works. Okay?
Yeah, most people just like, they just want to know the dollar amount. How much I'm going to get back?
Yeah.
I got these kids and whatever.
Yeah, so most people assume that's how it goes. So what happens is the IRS every year, it can either decrease or it could increase. In this scenario in 2024, in 25 tax season, it actually increased. So what happens is it goes off your AGI. And what
What's
is
that?
an AGI is your annual gross income. So that is what you made for the entire year.
That's before the
Okay.
taxes
That
or
is
after?
before taxes.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't understand when you're going to go apply for things, when you're going to go apply for like your housing, your mortgage, your credit cards, a vehicle, whatever
Like
you may be
loans and
doing,
stuff like
loans and
that.
stuff like that. They look at what you bring in pre-tax, because if they look at what you bring after tax, then that's not going to be good, right?
Yeah, right.
But some people actually do make some good money, and they can do that. Self-employed is a little differently, okay? But we'll touch base on that in just a second. So what happens is they'll come up with these credit amounts, and then when they do that, it will say if you have 0 children, if you're claiming 1 child, if you're claiming 2, if you're claiming 3. It's also depending on what your status is, meaning your filing status. So it's different filing statuses. You have single. Single is people with no children. You're not married, okay? So you're not legally married, and you have no kids. So that's what somebody is single for.
Okay.
A lot of single people come to me and be like, oh, I was head of household. Huh? Because head of household, from what I'm understanding,
You don't have no kids, but it's
yeah,
contradicting each other.
So I'm like, wait a minute, you have no kids? How you doing head of household? So head of household would be for it could be either male or female, because a lot of people say, you got to be, no, male or female. And you have a dependent, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. You can claim up to 6 children on your taxes, by the way.
Wait, you could claim 6?
Yeah, you can claim up to 6 children on your taxes.
So people don't have to like try to sell their kids off no more.
No, what happens is
Like
let me tell you what happens. So what happens is a lot of people, they'll sell off their children, which is illegal, by the way. Okay, this is coming from me. You will get in trouble. All right. And they do it because you only get the earned income credit and a child tax credit for the first 3 children. And they'll normally do it for the first 3 younger. So even though you may be claiming 4 or 5 or 6 kids on your taxes, you're only going to get the earned income credit or the child tax credit for the first 3 children. Okay, and the system would normally calculate by who is the youngest and who is the oldest. Okay, and then it will go by that guideline. Okay, so that's how that works. So sometimes when people be like, oh, I'm gonna let my sister claim, I have 6 kids, I'm only gonna claim 3, I'm gonna let my sister, my brother do this, and my auntie do this, it's because they still want the child tax credit and the EIC money from that person.
But you're saying that's illegal.
It's illegal.
So, let me say this. So, I got nieces and nephews, and I take care of them. So it would be illegal to file for them as head of household?
No.
They don't reside with me though.
Right. So how you're claiming the children, they have to reside with you. Okay. 6 months or more out of that last tax year. Okay. Very crucial. I am spending some knowledge to you guys. So even though you may have a niece or a nephew, if that niece or nephew did not reside in your home, in your resident, you cannot claim that child just because you want to help your sister or your brother or your aunt or your uncle out. It is illegal. Okay. So for people who is doing that, which, come on, we're not stupid. Okay. I've been in the tax game for a long time.
Everybody doing it.
Everybody does it. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like I have not seen it, but here at Empress Tax Service, that's a no-no. You make sure you have custody of that child, or if the mom is, or the dad or whoever it is may say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and let my aunt or uncle or whoever claim the kid, great. But again, just make sure that that person is aware of the guidelines and how it's supposed to work. Again, it's different strokes for different folks. Everybody's tax office is different, but again, it happens more than you think. But for instance, if you want to do it the right way, okay, which if you come into Empress Tax Service, we do things the right way. If you do have a niece or a nephew that you are claiming, or a grandchild that you're claiming, and that child does not reside in your home, then you will let me know and we will attach form 8332. 8332 is the consent from the parent to the IRS acknowledging that you are allowed to claim that child.
Okay.
That's the only way we will do it
That's
here
the
in
right
Everest
way.
Tax Saver. That's the right way. Yes, we're not going to go the other way. We're going to do it the right way, and we will attach that form so that way you won't get out of it later on and have to show proof, and then, oh, I don't have it. People steal people's kids and identities every day to file taxes, so that's the reason why we're very,
So when
very
you
cautious.
do that, does that make you now eligible for the child tax credits now because you filled out that form?
Yes.
And is that still dependent upon your actual AGI
yes,
as
and
well?
it's still dependent on your AGI.
Okay.
Because what happens is the child tax credit and the EIC credit is the EIC, the earned income credit, is given to people who they consider lower income. Okay. The child tax credit, it depends on the amount of money that you make. And it depends on if you go over the thresholds. So that's what we're going to talk about now, which I'm getting ready to pull up now.
Yeah, 'cause I'm about to say we all struggling right now. So what is a lower tax bracket for this EIC? Like,
okay.
what is that? Where's that at?
So if you're single with no children, okay, if you make more than $18,591 a year, you do not qualify for the earned income credit.
Damn.
And the earned income credit for single people this year is $632. You can't get no more than that.
$632?
$632 as a single person. If you make less than the $18,591 that we were discussing just now, the government will give you $632 for free because you are now considered being low income.
Damn.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, if you are married filing jointly with no children, and if you make over $25,511, you are now considered being low income. So if you make less than that $25,000 we just talked about, the IRS will now give you the $632.
Oh, so no matter what your filing status is, or the it just reflects upon how much you made.
It depends on how much you made.
It's still going to be that
each filing status.
It's not going to be higher than 632.
It's not going to be higher.
Okay.
So if you're single with no children and you made less than $18,591, you'll qualify for the earned income credit. If you're married filing jointly, you qualify for the earned income credit as long as you made less than the $25,511. If you are married filing separately, you do not qualify for earned income credit. And the reason why is because the IRS can't tell who it's supposed to go to because you're doing married filing separately. Okay? You guys are in two separate households. No one's saying that they live here together. It doesn't matter if you have a child or no child. You are not getting it. Okay? To qualify for earned income credit, you have to be either single, head of household, or married filing jointly. If you are doing married filing separately, so my people who are legally separated or they don't want to share their tax debt, so they do married filing separately, you do not qualify for earned income. You do qualify for child tax credit, and we'll get into that.
And damn, so no matter what, it's like that 630 something ain't gonna. That's 2 pair of sneakers.
But they're saying you're single, so you don't have any dependents to take care of. You don't have so if you're making more than that, and now you have your bills, you don't have any kids. Why am I giving you more money than what you need?
A head of household does not qualify for that.
Head of household does.
Okay.
Head of household does, but we're gonna get into that. So
it would be better for them to go for the child tax credit as head of household.
No, they can actually get both.
Oh,
so
okay.
My head of household people actually get earned income and child tax credit depending on these amounts that we're going to talk about in a minute. Now, widow is someone who lost their husband or their wife in the last 2 years of the last tax year that you are coming out of. So if that's the way you would claim widow, and you'll get a different credit for that as well. Okay? If you have one child this year for tax season, and you made less than $49,084, you will now qualify. This is for my single, head of household, and widow. You will now qualify for the earned income amount of $4,213, and that's the maximum.
Wait a minute. So we just went up like double double the AGI, but the earned income credit just multiplied by like 3,000%.
Okay, and the reason why they're saying that this year is because the cost of living,
Definitely.
has went up tremendously. You, especially down here in South Florida, the rent
Inflation.
rates, inflations,
Yeah.
and because you are taking care of another person.
Okay.
So the government is now considering you have to pay rent or a mortgage.
True.
You got to pay bills. You got to have car note. You got to get groceries. You got to get food. You have to take care of that child. That child may be in sports. That child needs to go to the doctor office. They have
They may go to the
co-payments.
Boys and Girls Club.
They got that. So the government is now saying, hey, you have more expenses going out than the person that's single.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. When we were single, right? And say, for instance, I know with my first job, when I was single, before I had kids, that was back then when $13 an hour used to be like, what? I'm making $13 an hour. What are you talking about? I'm balling.
Yeah, I'm flexing. What you mean? It's way higher than minimum wage.
Like, that was back in the day. And when $13 an hour was actually the crap. And we're gonna say that safe word because we're gonna go on social media. So that's when $13 an hour, $15 an hour, you was making $16, you was making $20 an hour back in the day. You used to think, man, you was balling.
I made it.
You was balling. You made it, okay? Not when you got older and you realize that's not the case.
Yeah, you don't even want nobody to know that's what you're getting right now.
Think about it, right? You pay all your bills. You only got yourself. Not that much money is going out, but when you have an extra person to take care of, you got a little bit more finances to worry about. So that's why the government kind of goes up a little bit.
Definitely.
Okay? So if you have 2 dependents this year. Oh, let's go back to the 1. Sorry. So if you're married, filing jointly, and you made $56,004 and less, then you'll qualify for the earned income credit. Okay? If you made more than that, you don't qualify. So these limits that I'm talking about, if you made more than this, then you don't qualify for the earned income credit. It doesn't mean you don't qualify for the child tax credit, okay?
Okay.
It's the earned income. The earned income credit is what the government gives you for free. So that's the reason why they make it a cap limit. So a lot of people be talking like, oh, how come my friend got this and I didn't? Well, you made 70-something thousand. She may have made 20-something thousand with 3 kids. 2 different scenarios.
That's like when you see the signs on the road where it's like 1 child, 4,000, 2 children, 7,000, 3 kids, 11,000. That's what that goes along with?
Yeah, this is what goes along with it. So that's why
Okay.
they be counting the earned income credit. They be counting the child tax credit. They're banking on people that's making less than this. So a lot of tax offices, like we don't. I have clients who owe money. I have clients that make millions of dollars a year. So not every client that comes to me actually gets a refund, but they're banking on those type. I have clients that get 6 figures. So not all my clients that come to me actually get refunds. So it doesn't matter to me with this AGI chart. It matters to me for my people who do come in. That way I can explain to them why you only maxed out on this and you can't get no higher than this no matter what.
Definitely.
So that's what that goes for. For my people who are single, head of household, or widow at this point, when you got kids, okay, we're going to go back to the filing statuses in a few. If you're claiming 2 or more children and you're head of household or widow and you made $55,768 or less, then you will qualify for the earned income credit of $6,960 at the max. Okay? All right? That's the max. And for my married filing jointly couples who are making $62,688, you will qualify for the earned income credit that we just talked about as well. That's the max. If you have 3 or more, it stops there. The government made it stop at 3 because you got to remember your average household size is 3 kids. So when you talk about people who got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids, that's not every household. So a lot of people be like, oh, well, how come it stops at 3? The government made the system to where the average family dependents would technically be.
Yeah,
okay?
they locked it off.
Yeah, so they locked
Like,
it
look,
off.
we ain't giving you that much. You having all these kids. You got to figure it out.
Got to figure this out, right? So if you made $59,899 or less, you will qualify for the earned income credit this year, and that will be the max of $7,830. Okay?
That's nice.
All right? And if you are married filing jointly and you made $66,819 or less, you will also qualify for the earned income credit this year as well. Okay, again, you see the guidelines that I'm talking about. These are all the IRS regulations. So if you have someone who tell you, oh, I could get you this. No, these are the max amounts. You can't get no more than this. Don't sit here and tell everybody you can. You just can't, okay? These are the maximum amounts that you can receive for this tax season. That's it. So single people, I know it sucks for you guys. Take out the correct amount of taxes. It's all about how you fill out your W-4 form. My head of household people, head of household or people who are not married, have a dependent, and is technically single at the end of the year, because if you're not married, you're single, but you're head of household because you have a child.
Taking care of someone else.
Taking care of someone.
But is that just children? Would it apply to like if you're like taking care of a
that's just children.
If elder or like an older parent or something?
That's a qualifying dependent. So you have your dependent and you have your qualifying dependents. The qualifying dependents is your mom, your aunts, and everybody. You don't get that much for them. You get like $300 to $500 for them. Okay. So you can be head of household and saying, hey, I'm taking care of, my sick mother or my dad, my aunt, my uncle, whoever. That's totally fine. You do not qualify for earned income credit, and you do not qualify for child tax credit because they are over age.
Oh.
Okay. Earned income credit and child tax credit is only for 17 years of age or younger. Okay.
Y'all get it?
So,
y'all paying attention? Because you don't want you to do the wrong thing. But if you come over here to Empress Tax Service, you cannot do the wrong thing.
No, you
it's
cannot
not
do the wrong thing. It's not happening. If you're married filing jointly, I have people who say, oh, I have my boyfriend. Can he claim me? Or can I claim my boyfriend? What? No. Okay, that is your boyfriend. You have to be legally married. So if you don't have a marriage certificate stamped by whatever state that you live in, you are not considered legally married, okay? Don't come to me asking me about claiming boyfriends. I have had it, okay? You cannot do that. That is your boyfriend. That's your man. You're not married. If you are married, filing separately, okay? Again, you do not qualify for earned income credit. You will not qualify for education expenses, okay? And that will be if you went to college and you have your 1098-T form and you want to claim that, you will not qualify for that as well. It's because of the filing status. The IRS does not know who to be able to give it to because you guys are doing married filing separately. That is someone who is legally separated from their husband or spouse, okay, or wife or whoever you were married to, or wife, man or man, whatever it is.
Pronouns.
Yes. Whatever you want to do. Let's just say spouse to be on the safe side. Because of that, the IRS can't, you guys are not in the same house, so you guys don't marry filing separately, so they limit your credits, okay? Widow, again, you can only do widow if your husband or your spouse or your wife or whoever died within the last 2 years of that current tax season, and then you can claim widow. Okay. After that, you'll be single. So those are the filing statuses. You can't be nothing but single, head of household, married filing jointly, married filing separately, or widow. That's it.
So the difference with this year is basically they are allowing you, or they're giving you a little bit more than they was giving you last year.
Yes, they were giving you a little bit more this year than you are last year. So I think some people who were coming last year, if you have 3 children, you were capping out like $7,020 on the earned income credit. This year you're tapping out at $7,830. So that's like a $700 come up. So that's
it make a difference
nice.
Right
that's
now.
A big difference. Child tax credit is up to $2,000, but only $1,700 is refundable. It is based on your annual gross income. Okay, so no matter if you made less or more than those amounts, you can qualify. It just depends on how much your income is. Okay, so you might not get the earned income credit, but you'll still get the child tax credit. Okay, so don't confuse the two. Earned income is given to you free because the IRS considers you being low income. Child tax credit, you can still qualify for child tax credit even if you make six figures. I have had clients who make 80, 90 grand, 100 grand, and they will still get the child tax credit. Okay?
Not the EIC.
Just not the EIC credit. Two
Because your
different
AGI
things.
too high.
Yes. Two different things.
Yes, yeah, we learning some things over here.
Things. Yes, two different things. So we just want to make sure we solidify that so people can understand exactly how the filing statuses work and why you will qualify for one credit, not the other. And again, it's just depending on your status.
What about filing and getting cash advancements? Do you do it that as well?
Yes. So we do something called ERO cash advance, okay? And the reason why we call it ERO is because it's not like a cash advance, regular cash advance spot that you'll go to like your local AmScot or anything of that nature. This cash advance is strictly partnered with a third-party bank with the IRS, okay? So this is an authorized third-party bank, okay? It's not no random bank. Trust me, they have all type of government contracts and everything in place. So you're totally fine when you're doing this. We do offer something starting on January 2nd to March 14th every year where you can get a limited amount, which is $500 up to $7,000. The bank does make the final decision. So you don't come to us and we don't decide it. The bank does. It's not based on credit. They will do a soft credit check to confirm you and your identity and just kind of see what type of person you are. It is based on income, meaning how much money that you're getting back. So anybody who's getting back $2,000 or more will be able to qualify for it. And they're also going to look at your tax return history. Okay, so have your taxes ever been taken? Are your taxes threatened to be taken? Are you guaranteed to get your taxes back? So those will be the qualifications to get it. Okay, it's not guaranteed. Okay, so 95% of the people that come through my office do qualify. You do have a few people where the bank says no, denied. And it could just be something about what they look at the soft credit check. It could be something that they say, hey, you know what? Let's see if this person, they may be a little risky. So let's see if this person actually get their taxes first. And then maybe next year when you come, you'll get it. So we do offer that. Again, it's strictly up to the bank's decision. It's not ours. Once you do apply for that cash advance, your taxes is filed. Okay. So you can't go anywhere else to try to go get it from nobody else. Your taxes is filed with whatever office that you filed your taxes with at that time.
But what determines the length of time waiting after your taxes actually filed and processed? Because some people try to get it in the very first day, and some people they gotta wait for their W-2s and stuff like that. But what actually determines the waiting process to get that check from the IRS?
Okay, so what happens is, even though we open up every year, we're open all year round. So we got to remember we have S Corp, C Corp deadlines. We'll talk about all those deadlines with taxes and everything. So we'll talk about that. So we're open all year round. So we open up on January 2nd. So a lot of people that come from January 2nd to probably the first week of January, to right now, how we are the 9th or 10th. Some may be W-2 because W-2s may be out. Most of them are my business clients or my self-employment clients, okay? So what happens is we still have to wait for the IRS to open. The IRS does not open for individual tax returns, which is for this year, which is January 27th. And then they open for business tax returns to start e-filing them on January 15th at 9 a.m. So what helps determine if you're going to get that money right after the IRS opens is your filing status. Anyone who is claiming children or EIC or CTC credit, which is the child tax credit, or the earned income credit, you still have to wait till after February 15th due to the PATH Act law. Okay, that's something that has not changed. Obama put that in office when he was in there, and it's just to make sure that you are actually able to claim these credits before they release the money. It used to be back in the day when I first started doing taxes, you'll file your taxes when the IRS opens, they release the money in a couple of weeks, but not no more. Yeah. Okay? Your typical turnaround time after the IRS opens, as long as everything is reported correctly is within 21 days, which is your typical 3 weeks to 4 weeks, not including weekends and holidays. Sometimes it can take a week and they get released. Everything is good. Not everybody has to wait that particular time. If you're not claiming children and you're not claiming EIC credit, then your taxes will get released within that 21 business days. So no matter if you're single, head of household, or widow, then your taxes will be released immediately, because again, you're not claiming those credits. But anyone else who was claiming them credits have to wait till after February 15th, no matter if you be the first one. So what happens, a lot of people want to hurry up and rush and file, because most of them will be in that first batch that's coming out after the 15th. So by the 22nd and 23rd, when everybody's refunds start getting released, people want to be in that first batch because you got to wait so long now.
Definitely.
So the people who don't want to do a cash advance, they just want to make sure, hey, I'm in, my taxes filed, I have my paperwork, I'm ready to go. And it's just because, again, they don't want to wait until the end of February, beginning of March to get the money. So they're like, hey, let me get in that first batch.
With a cash advance, do you just pay back the exact amount that you were advanced, or is there like a fee or something else added onto that?
It's a fee. So what happened is, you're not borrowing money from the IRS. They are given to you on a contingency that your money is going to be released by the IRS. And if it doesn't, and your tax return is not released, then you're going to now owe that bank and they can come after you. So that's the reason why they do the soft credit check. And then you have to have a U.S. address. Everything has to be verified. They have to make sure you are you. Well, you should be having a U.S. address anyway, filing the taxes, but you can't have no P.O. boxes. Some people don't have P.O. boxes.
Definitely.
Can't have a P.O. box dealing with a cash advance loan. So when your money is released from the IRS, it gets paid back, but you get paid back with interest. So say if you get $2,000, then it's $2,035 you have to pay back instead of the $2,000.
Okay. But
so
is it taken out, or you physically have to pay
No.
it?
It's taken out when they release it. So as soon as the IRS release your tax return, they'll take their portion out. They'll pay your tax preparer, which we all use this as well. If you're not paying us up front, that's who we use to get paid as well. They'll pay their tax preparer, and then they'll direct deposit your amount in your bank account.
Awesome.
And you should have paperwork. You should be signing. My clients do sign. They get the documents for the bank application, and they get the documents for their 1040 tax return, or 1120 or 1065, whatever they came and did with me. They'll get a copy right then and there as well.
Okay, I got a question, because I know this applies to a lot of people. Since like PPP and stuff like that, a lot of people became like entrepreneurs and started companies, or even became the company themselves, or whatever the case may be. So for someone who has income that's coming from like their job, so they're on a payroll status, maybe 1099 or W-2 or whatever it may be, but they also have their own entity on the side. It could be like you said, LLC or S corp. Like, what should they do? Because I heard you say you have one date for the individuals and you have another start date to e-file for businesses.
Correct. So every business is different, right? So you have some businesses where you have your LLCs who may do a 1065, which they want to make sure they report. Maybe you're making $250,000. You might not want to report that on your personal income tax. You may only want to report what you're taking home payroll wise. So say for instance, if I gross 250 grand, but out of that 250 grand, I only paid myself 50,000 technically. And then the rest went towards expenses. The rest went towards payroll. The rest went towards paying rent for your company. Then I might want to file that separately. So I can do that as a 1065 and then report my 50,000 that I paid myself on my personal taxes. Okay? It's up to you. Some people have S corps or C corps. That's not a personal tax. That would be an 1120. So that'll be a business form. So that'll be a business tax. And that will be qualifying to be opened up on the 15th. You have your K1s, you have your partnerships, and you have your 999 profits. Your nonprofits are not taxable. So if they're getting grants, they're getting donations, it's not taxable. But you still have to report to the IRS, especially if you got over 50,000 worth of donations. It's not taxable, but the IRS want to know what you're doing with your money, and then you have to kind of go down that 990 profit form and let them know where everything went, how much is this, what's the balance of this. This is
That's
what
like
it
a
is,
profit and loss
and
sheet.
it's a profit and loss sheet to report to the IRS. So when you see people like Naomi Campbell, who made the news last year, and they was like, "Oh, she be using her nonprofit money for for luxury expenses and things." Maybe they were trying to cut corners and they got in trouble and they got flagged. Technically, you're not supposed to be doing that. Your nonprofit is your nonprofit. You're supposed to be actually donating and giving the money back and doing things with the community and doing good with the community. So, as long as you're doing that, you should be fine. So, business taxes again, are people who, again, maybe a different entity, or they want to do your business taxes completely separately from your personal. Some people will issue themselves a W-2 statutory, and the W-2 statutory is you're saying that, hey, I put myself on payroll for my company, so I'm going to do a W-2 so I can get me a refund back, or don't have to pay taxes on my personal, but then I'm going to report everything on my business taxes, and then maybe either pay, under my business, the IRS, and do my prepayments and things of that nature. So that's how that kind of works.
Okay, definitely. So I think this is why it makes more sense to go with an actual tax pro as opposed to someone that's just a tax preparer, so to speak. If that makes sense.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Come to somebody who because if they can't sit there and explain to you why it's two separate type of taxes, then that might not be the one for you. You'll have a lot of people who be like, "Oh, I do business taxes," and they're considered just Schedule C. Schedule C is totally fine. So a Schedule C is your LLC or your sole proprietorship. You can mix it with your W-2, and and if you're a single member LLC, you can do that on your personal taxes. That's no problem. But when you start making big money, you kind of want to separate the entities, unless you have a 1099K, which is through a third party payment system, or your Uber or your Lyft drivers, or your Venmo, your PayPal, your Shopify. Those still have to get reported on a Schedule C. You cannot use those and report them on a 1065 or an 1120. And also be mindful, if you're an S corp, you have to have a special, and that's just basically letting you know you're a special tax. Make sure you have that application done with the IRS. Don't just actually do a S corp tax return, because it will come back rejected, which one of my clients who I helped this year, who went to someone else, and that's what happened. So yeah, I helped her. That was actually last year. I keep forgetting it's 2025. So 2024, I helped her amend her taxes, because that's what the previous person she went to, who was just a tax preparer, she didn't know. She decided to do her an 1120 S corp tax, and she wasn't even an S corp.
Yeah,
so just be
I was just gonna ask that, like, as someone trying to figure this out or do the right thing, but you may not have the knowledge or even the source to find the knowledge. How would you determine which, I guess, corporation status is most applicable or compatible to what you have going on with the LLC, S corp, C corp, whatever? Like, how do you determine which one of those would apply to you as a person?
just looking at, I guess it just depends on how you want to be taxed in the game. So corporations, you got to remember, you have the people who started the corporation, then you have your director. So you have your president, your treasurer, your secretary, you have your board of directors. Same way with S corp. S corp is just basically saying that I want to get taxed a little bit differently than a C corp, right? So I want some special taxes. It all depends on what you decide you want to do as far as how you're starting your business. Not everybody is meant to be an S corp. Not everybody's meant to be a C corp. Not everybody want a partnership. Not everybody's going to want an LLC. Not everybody's going to want to be a sole proprietorship. It's just going to be depending on what you'll sit down and discuss with either your tax pro or someone who is knowledgeable in starting businesses, to kind of sit down and say, hey, I'm making this type of money. What do you think is better for me? And then go from there. Because maybe your LLC, you're only bringing in $30,000 every year. That's it. Do you really need to go do an S corp or a C corp? No.
So it depends on the amount of
AGI
or whatever
it just
that the
depends
person
on,
making.
Yeah, I just feel like once you sit down and look, and you have some businesses who are strictly LLCs and they're making thousands and millions, it just depends on what you're comfortable with doing. So I would just say sit down with your tax pro and just kind of look at the entity and kind of, sit down and figure out what you think will be better for you.
They have different deductions and all that stuff
Yes,
too as well.
each one is different deductions. LLC is taxed differently from your S corp. Your S corp is taxed different from your C corp. Your partnerships have different taxation rules than your sole proprietorship. So these are things that I also teach in my financial literacy classes as well. So,
and how would somebody get to be enrolled in your classes?
yes, I'm excited about that. So that's also on my website. So if you go to www.empresstaxservices.com, there is a financial literacy link up there. You will also be able to read and learn how to book me to be able to teach you these things. So
It's online.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
online based.
Yeah, no, it's not only online based, it's also in person, but I'll have all the registrations online.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
and I'll
dope.
advertise for them as well. This year, June 21st, we will also be bringing our first master class. The tickets is not on sale yet. We'll be bringing our first master class. So you'll have me for financial literacy. You'll have my financial advisor. Shout out to Cornelius. He'll be over there teaching everybody how to actually make sure you setting up the proper IRAs, your 401k retirement, for your kids, life insurance. So he's going to be amazing. Shout out to Kayla. She is one of the number one realtors. She'll be there, partnered with Cornelius. He's also a mortgage broker, so they'll be touching bases on actually how to qualify for a home. And then shout out to Dr. J, the one and only Dr. J. She will be there also teaching how to apply for grants. So I get this all the time. I am not a grant writer, but I get this all the time, and I partner with some amazing people. Shout out to Ariel as well. She's an amazing grant writer. They will also be in attendance, so be looking out for that. So I am full of gems and full of connections. So what I may not be able to do and I don't specialize, I will definitely know someone that will be able to put you in touch with so you can be able to get those taken care of.
Do you see yourself taking this outside of Florida or?
Yes, I'm trying to take this global, and not trying, I will. I'm big on manifestation, so let me reword myself. I will be global. You guys will be seeing Empress Tax Service everywhere by 2026.
Where you think your next location to aim your focus on? Where you think your very next location
Very
would
next
be?
two locations that I'm looking at that's very hot topic right now is Atlanta and Houston.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people have moved to Houston right now with this inflation and stuff.
Atlanta and Houston, I'm coming.
But
I am coming.
Don't each state have their own specifics or something like that?
I specialize in all 50 states, including United States Virgin Islands and PR.
Oh, that's dope.
Those
That's
are
dope.
also U.S. territories. But yes, I know every in and out of each state law. I don't care if you're in California, New York, New Jersey, Ohio, and I am very familiar with all federal laws for each state. So it doesn't matter.
With this fire, you might get a lot of California people on your line after this. 'Cause it's crazy.
Yeah,
Right now.
shout out to my California clients. Shout out to my LA clients. I sent one a text earlier. The house fire is literally like a couple blocks from her house. So I sent her a text and said, I hope you evacuate soon. She said she's trying to hold it out and see. So shout out to my California clients that's going through it.
Definitely. Is anything else you want these people to know about tax boss Bria Harris, Empress Tax Services for the 24-25 tax season?
No, if you need any questions, I am here for you guys. Whether you want to know what the latest mileage is, whether you want to know what the latest threshold is for your 1099Ks, which is $5,000 this year, just to give you guys a heads up. So if you have anything third party system and you made $5,000 or more, be looking out for a 1099K. You will definitely have that. Okay, my Uber drivers, my Lyft drivers, my PayPal, my Venmo.
What about the truckers? I almost forgot about that. What about the truckers? 'Cause I got a lot of trucking homies right now.
Yes, I do have trucking clients. I do have trucking companies who I specialize in as well. Shout out to you guys. I am here. Make sure you guys bring me your mileage, your gasoline, okay, your receipts, anything that you replace. If it's not company and you owned your own semi and you had to replace a tire, you had to replace a part, bring those to me. I am your girl. I love trucking. So if you have your 1099s or if you're a W-2, bring them to me. I specialize in both.
Y'all heard it here. It's the place to be where she does it the right way, the only way to do it.
The only way to do it.
That's the only way it's going to get done. So don't come over here trying to beat the system because it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Okay?
But you're gonna feel it really good. And when you read my Google reviews, when you see what my clients are saying, two things they would say, education and customer service. I am going to let you know the right way. If you want them done the right way, you're definitely going to come here. It's going to be up to you if you want to go to your mom and pop shop that's in the corner that doesn't know what's going on. But if you want the education and the experience in the right way, then Empress Tax Service is definitely for you. Bria Harris is for you. My team is for you. Shout out to my team.
CPA of the year, y'all. Tap in. Make sure you follow on all social media platforms. Where can they find you? Where can they get in contact with you?
Yes, you can get in contact with me. My phone number is 762-217-5954. That's directly to me. You can also get in touch with me via all social medias. You can follow us on Facebook at Empress Tax Service, Instagram at Empress Tax Service 19. We are on Twitter at Empress Tax. We are also on LinkedIn as on Empress Tax, and then we are on TikTok at Boss Lady Tax Plug. Shout out to TikTok. Hopefully we don't get dismissed in 10 days, but until then, you can follow us on there.
Definitely, y'all. So you know where to find all of your tax purposes, all of your business filing purposes, all of your corporation, everything, LLC, S Corp, C Corp, everything. It's the place to be. Empress Tax Service.
BOI report. There's a lot of people asking me about the BOI report. The BOI report is on hold because they can't figure out how to not penalize everybody, but it is highly recommended still to go ahead and do your BOI report. So anybody who has a business and is not dissolved and it is active, please file your BOI report. It is not because they want to know who you are or try to steal something from you or anything of that nature. It's because they want to try to prevent fraud from happening, because with PPP and SBA, it was a lot of people who was taking people's businesses and applying for things and getting paid. So it's more to prevent financial fraud. So it's not rumors. I see all these rumors. No, they don't care about any of that. Nobody's going to jail if you did PPP. That's not what it's for. They just want to make sure no one is taking your entity and doing anything with it. If you don't have the link, contact me as well. I can send you the direct link. It takes 5 minutes to do the application. Do not pay nobody to do it. It's very easy. Don't let nobody scam you out your money. You heard it here first from Empress Tax Service.
Boom.